Prem, where me and my brother go head-to-head in predicting Premier League outcomes. 5 points for a completely correct scoreline, 1 point for a correct result, and the star man, once you pick that man, you can't pick them again for the rest of the season. 5 points for a goal, 2 points for assist, 162 to 158 in my favour. The last predict the Prem of 2024, people. Who is going to take the lead going into 2025? And we're going to start off with Leicester against Manchester City. Sim has gone for 2-1 to City.
Yeah, I think surely even Leicester can't win against City. I mean, you never know. I mean, I haven't been impressed, to be honest, since Root's taken over. I don't think they've been that great. I think they concede a lot of goals. I think he hasn't really stemmed the tide defensively. In fact, they've probably got worse defensively. Going forward, maybe things have improved a tad, but not enough to justify how bad things have been defensively. I think they conceded over 100 shots over the past 4 games. City are clearly struggling, but this is one game where I think they probably will go over the line. Yeah,
I feel like City have been creating chances, and I feel like Leicester are the most open team in the league right now, and I think City will finally get a win. I don't think it's going to stray them on course and they'll go on a big winning run after this, but I just feel like Man City are coming up against probably the worst team on current form in the Premier League, who are just like an open house pretty much at the back. And I think maybe Erling Haaland might even get on the score sheet in this one. So I've gone for 3-1 to Manchester City. Next up is Crystal Palace against Southampton. Sim's gone for 2-0. I've only gone for 1-0. I think Southampton have actually kept it quite tight since changing their manager, not conceding too many goals. They were unlucky not to get more points against West Ham in the last game. I still feel Crystal Palace at home will have too much quality for them, but I think it'll be a fairly tight game.
Yeah, I've just gone for 2 now. I think Palace in quite good form. I think they're playing quite well at the moment. They've got a good draw midweek, and Southampton still obviously had a bit of a new manager bounce to the performance, but I still think the quality is missing. I'm not sure the manager's going to start getting too much of a tune out of them, so I've gone for Palace to get another win there, 2-0.
Everton against Nottingham Forest. Nuno against Deitch. Don't expect a cracker in this one. Sim's gone for 1-0.
Yeah, I went for 1-0 to Everton at Goodison Park. I think Forest are not going to have the counter-attacking space they like to. I think set pieces, Everton can be quite strong. I think it's going to be quite a tight game, as you say. I think both teams, like to give the opposition the ball. I don't see too many chances created. But Everton are just riding a bit of a wave at the moment and in really good form, 3 really good draws. And so they'll see this as maybe an opportunity to have a tiny bit of a go. So I think 1-0 Everton.
Yeah, I think both these teams are both on form at the moment. I think both of them are going to cancel each other out. I think it could be a bit of a game like hot potato. No, you have the ball. No, you have the ball. No, you have the ball. Both of them are going to be fighting for territorial advantage, and I can't see a goal in this, so I've gone for 0-0. Next up is Fulham against Bournemouth. 2 on-form sides going head-to-head at Craven Cottage. Sim's gone for 1-1. I've gone for 2-1 to Fulham. I've just backed the home advantage a bit in this game. I feel Fulham, I think both these sides are on form, but I'm really impressed with the way Fulham are playing, and particularly the results against which clubs that they're getting them against as well. So on the back of a big West London derby victory, I'm going for them to back it up with a 2-1 win against Bournemouth.
Yeah, I've gone for 1-0. I think Fulham, great results recently, great win at Stamford Bridge, but Bournemouth, very aggressive side. I think both teams will give as good as they get. I think obviously Bournemouth are very tactically flexible. Bournemouth have a certain way of playing with their high press, and I think they could force Fulham into submission a bit. But I also see Fulham counter-attacking quite solidly, and the likes of Smith Rowe, or actually he might be out, but the likes of Wilson and Jimenez and Iwobi in very good form as well. So I couldn't pick a winner here, so I went 1-1.
All right, next up is Tottenham against Wolves. Sim's gone for 2-1 to Spurs.
Yeah, Spurs on their feet at the moment. Really difficult to see Spurs, how they're going to even power side, especially in the back line. That's going to stop this Wolves attack. Wolves obviously on a new manager off the back of 2 and 3-0 wins under Victor Pereira. But they do still concede a few chances, and Tottenham, if they can create enough, I still think if they can create more than Wolves, they should just about get over the line in this one. Wolves, it's their toughest test since the new managers come in, I think, and I'm backing Spurs to get the job done, so 2-1.
Yeah, I've gone for 2-1 to Wolves, unfortunately. I just feel like the injuries and the defensive frailties are going to hurt Spurs too much in this, and an on-form Wolves, 2-0 and 3-0 in their past 2 games. They've won 2 out of their last 3 appearances at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium as well, and it's likely to be Bissouma and Archie Gray at centre-back, and I think Cunha could have a bit of a field day, so 2-1 to Wolves. Excuse me. West Ham against Liverpool. Sim's gone for 2-1 to Liverpool. I've gone for 3-1 to Liverpool. I've been not... Look, West Ham have undefeated, I think, in the last 3 or 4 games, but I think they haven't been impressive, and I think Liverpool are going to reap the benefits of that. They're going to open them up, and I think it'll be quite convincing by the end of it. So 3-1.
Yeah, I've gone 2-1. West Ham have been a bit better recently, a bit tougher to play against, tougher to break down. I think in the likes of Bowen and Kudus, they do have the players on the counter-attack that can really hurt Liverpool. And they've shown in the past few weeks, Liverpool, that they do have conceded a few goals. So wouldn't be surprised if West Ham take the lead or score. But Liverpool just find a way to win recently. They find a way to be getting over the line. They're just finding a way to create opportunities. And even if they go behind, I think they'll turn it around. So I've gone for a 2-1 win for Liverpool.
And next is Aston Villa against Brighton. Both of us going for Aston Villa wins. Sim's going for 3-0.
Yeah, I think at home at Villa Park, Brighton in just horrendous form, and I think the way they play is going to lend to exactly how Villa would. It's going to play into Villa's hands. And I actually think John Duran's sending off and putting Watkins into the team will actually help Villa in this game, because his ability to run in behind and hold the ball up is going to make sure that he's causing havoc in this Brighton team. I think Brighton are really struggling going forward. They're going to really struggle against a very aggressive Villa team. I think Villa are going to press a lot higher. So I can see a 3-0 win here. I think it might be 3-0 by half time.
Wow. Yeah, I think Villa will win. Brighton just out of sorts at the moment, and I think Aston Villa could be the beneficiaries of that. And I think with John Duran being suspended, I think Ollie Watkins had come in with a bit of a point to prove after losing his space to John Duran, and I think he's going to stake a claim for that number 9 spot for Aston Villa, and I think he'll get a goal or 2 in this one. So 2-1 to Villa. Next up is Ipswich against Chelsea. Sim's gone for 2-0 to Chelsea. I've gone for 1-0 to Chelsea. Ipswich not conceding too many goals at the moment. I think Chelsea on the back of 2 poor results, I think they'll get back to winning ways, but I think it'll be tight.
Yeah, I've gone for 2-0. I just think Chelsea have the firepower. Ipswich, just not great. I can't see them containing this Chelsea team. And as much as they gave Arsenal a bit of a tougher ride, I guess, only the 1-0 loss, I think Chelsea's firepower should be enough to make this comfortable. So 2-0.
Manchester United against Newcastle. For the first time in this episode, we've gone for the exact same scoreline here in 2-1 to Newcastle.
Yeah, I think Ruben Amorim at the moment struggling as Man United manager. I think Newcastle in a much better form. I think the back three might help United in this game, but Gordon, Isaac is just scoring every game with them. I can see that midfield three really dominating United at the back, and they can't get the balance at the back right with that back three, and I just see Isaac, Gordon running havoc there. And also I just don't see the wing backs helping them out too much going the other way. So gone for United at home to get a goal, but I think Newcastle are going to come away with the points.
Yeah, I think United have actually failed to score in their last 2 games, and it's a tall order to see them getting any points out of Newcastle at the moment. Newcastle just on fire with Isaac, Gordon, Jacob Murphy really pulling the strings for them at the moment. So I've gone for Newcastle to win. I think if it was at St James's Park, I would have gone for a really convincing win. But just because it's at Old Trafford and Newcastle aren't the best travellers, I've gone for 2-1 to Newcastle. And last but not least, it is Brentford against Arsenal at the G-Tech. Sim's gone for 1-0.
Yeah, I've gone. I think they'll just get a set piece, and they'll just basically Brentford like to play against teams who play on the counter. They like to play against teams who with space, with Wissa running in behind into space and Mbeumo. I think Arsenal are just going to deny them that, and then they're going to get a goal from a set piece. I also see Arsenal really struggling to break down Brentford, especially at the G-Tech. Brentford are in great form. I know they lost their last game to Forest, though, who, in a weird way, played not in a too dissimilar way to how Arsenal play sometimes away from home. So I think Arsenal will just get a bit of luck. They'll get a goal, and it's going to be 1-0.
Yeah, I can see Brentford breaking Arsenal down. I really can, particularly in their home stadium. But yeah, I think Arsenal will get a set piece or a stroke of luck. But I can't see this being a great game, even though the G-Tech has provided some brilliant games this season, probably been the most entertaining ground of football so far. But I think Arsenal are going to come stink the place out and walk away with a point. And we move on to the star men. Sim has gone for Jean-Claude Mateta.
Jean-Philippe Mateta.
I always say Jean-Claude. Jean-Philippe Mateta.
Jean-Claude Van Damme I've gone for. A different killer. But yeah, look, Mateta in great form at Selhurst Park, playing against Southampton. So I think it's a good time to put him in. So I went for him.
Yeah, I've gone for Ollie Watkins. Both of us mentioned Ollie Watkins and how pivotal he's going to be in the game this weekend against Brighton. And yeah, I feel like he's going to be chomping at the bit after being taken out for John Duran. I think he's going to be pivotal in Aston Villa's game against Brighton. So
I considered him, but went for Mateta last minute. I thought I'd already picked Watkins, but it turns out I haven't. So.
Well, there you have it. That is Predict the Prem, the last Predict the Prem of the calendar year, people. I just want to bring this one up just